Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a get ready with me, and instead of trying out a whole lot of new products on the market, I'm trying out products I've always wanted to try. How many of you have like your little loves list or your list of things are in your cart and you're like, I just can't pull the trigger? Well, I have a few of these and I finally just was like, you know what? I want to try them. Some of them I actually suggest to people because I use them at work and I apply them on people, but I've never applied them to myself. And I finally got curious enough that I was like, I am going to buy them, I'm going to try them, and we are going to do this together. So if you want to see how I created this look and what products I used, just keep watching. The first product I want to talk about is actually an automatic dud for me for a couple reasons. This is the Kevyn Aqua Sensual Skin Enhancer and the shade is number SX03. Now this is the second time I have tried filming this. The first video got corrupted, so we are doing it again. When I got this, I immediately touched it, I opened it, and this is what it looks like. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera. I know you can't tell because when I went to go edit the other one, this color doesn't really show on camera, but this is almost like a grayish yellow. It's very strange, but according to the internet, if you're an NC20, you are an SX03 in this, and I don't know, I hope that there are other colors, but the biggest reason why this is a fail for me is because the very first ingredient of it is mineral oil. Now, I didn't read the ingredients online. Yes, they are online. I should have, and I didn't read the ingredients before I touched it. Otherwise, if I had seen that first, I wouldn't have touched it and I just would have returned it. But I did play with textures on it. I did apply it to my skin in the first video, but it looked terrible and I actually ended up taking it off. Mainly just the color, not the texture or anything else like that. It just almost looked like zombie makeup on me. Let me see. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to take a little bit of this shade and I'm going to put it on my hand right here. And it looks normal. Like, it's so strange to me. It looks normal, and I got it on my skin and it did not work out. And then this is a MAC concealer, and this is NC15. So I'm an NC20. I'm not as light as a 15. And this is right beside it. So hopefully you guys can see. Like, this has more of like that yellow tone to it, and this is like almost ashy gray. It is so weird. I don't know how to explain it. So in the first video, I took it off. I was gonna deal with the mineral oil that one day. If you don't know, mineral oil can clog your pores. It can dry out your skin. It's a lot of different things. So for me, that's a miss in of itself, but the color of it was horrendous for me, so that's a pass. I'm going to instead go in with this. This is the Vitalumiere Aqua in the shade number 20. I should have just used this for this video, but I was trying it out before buying the color, and I've always wanted to try this, so technically it is an oldie but a goodie to a lot of people, and I have actually really been enjoying it. So I'm going to take this and apply it. I am, of course, going in with my Linda Hallberg sponge. And this color is really good right off the bat, but I feel like all Chanel foundations turn slightly pink on me. So I will have to take this like down the neck, everything to make it blend. And I can actually wear the 30 as well, but it's a hair too dark when it oxidizes. So 20 is a better bet for me. I have been loving the lightweight texture of this. It's not too drying, it's not too dewy, it's like perfect. It just feels like nothing on my skin. The concealer I've always wanted to try, but I just have not gotten, is the YSL All Hours. This one is fairly new. I absolutely love the foundation, but I just never grabbed the concealer, and I don't know why. I think I was just so in love with the Shape Tape that I was like, I don't care about anything else. But I'm finally going to try it, and I know a lot of you guys wanted to know what my thoughts were on it. And the shade that I'm using is number 2. If you guys can see like how my lips look, I just finished that Sephora lipstick video. Yeah, my lips are tormented right now. So yeah, we're just going to ignore that. I'm just going to blend this in. You can see it blends really easily, but it is not full coverage to me. Not in my opinion. I can see my little freckle straight through this, which doesn't bother me because I do fill it back in anyway, but if you're looking for full coverage, this is not going to be it. I hate that I have already done this video once because now like I know what to expect. I already know like the products that I ended up liking and the products that did not work for me, and there's definitely some of both. this one, let's see what it wants to do today. Yeah, I feel like this looks dry underneath my eyes. It's medium coverage. I feel like I look a little bit crepey. Tarte Shape Tape definitely looks better on me. It's not terrible, I'm just not in love with it either. I'm gonna take my Hourglass Diffused light and I'm only gonna do one side of my face, or at least one under eye, because I'm not gonna put this on my nose. I always put the Hourglass on my nose, and I'm going to use a different powder. And I forgot to use this powder in the last video, so this is going to be a true first impression. So the powder I want to use on this side is the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. And now the reason that I used Hourglass on this side is because I want to see if, like, what the differences are, because already this concealer looks a little dry. So I want to see if it looks better than the Hourglass, if it looks the same or worse. I just want to have something to base it off of. Taking a Bdellium 785. And just a tiny little bit of that powder, and I'm getting it right up at the base here. So that's not bad. I'm gonna take my sponge and get a little bit and go right underneath. I'm not baking, I'm just working this into the skin. I'm not using any excess powder. Okay, so this is not bad at all. I feel like this side might be slightly brighter, but this side looks smoother. But this doesn't look any drier to me. Yeah, not really any drier, but I do think that Hourglass is slightly smoother. I'll have to play with this powder just a little bit more. For bronzer, I'm gonna go in with the Maestro Liquid Summer from Giorgio Armani, and this is in the shade number 90. I have sold so many of these at work, but never because I've applied it to somebody or suggested it. It's always been like people repurchasing it because they love it so much. So now, like, I wanna know, why do people love this so much? So I'm gonna take this and apply it with my MAC 170. All right, I've worked some into my brush. Now I'm gonna tap this into my skin. I actually really like the color of this. It's slightly cooler, but still slightly warm. I don't know, and it blends really, really nicely. I can see why people love this, and there's other colors. I'm an NC20, so if you are an NC20, you might be able to use the shade 90 if you're slightly darker, but I don't think too much darker because this does blend out really nicely. This is beautiful. It's really easy to work with. This is gorgeous, 100% try it out, especially if like the Soleil Tan de Chanel is too warm. This knocks it down a notch or a few notches, and it's beautiful. The powder that I wanna try is also from Giorgio Armani. Now I recommend this all the time because I do apply this to people at work. So I know how it works on the skin on others, but I don't know how it works on me. So this is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Compact. This powder feels like silk. It is so, so nice. Now this might be a hair too dark for me, but when I buff at the end, I can usually tone it down a notch. But we're gonna try this. This is the Bdellium 974, and I'm just gonna start working this in to my skin. Yeah, this is super duper smooth. Very pretty. For blush, I'm going to use one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is her Cheek to Chic blush, and it's in First Love. I just think it looks like a boob. That's all I can think of, is it looks like a big old boob, or maybe a little boob, I don't know. But I'm gonna take this and apply it to the cheeks. I'm using the Kylie number 3, and you're supposed to like swish, pop, whatever. I'm gonna blend in all this together because I do my own thing. I'm gonna apply it to the cheeks. Very pretty. I do wish it was a little bit more nude than pink. When I was buying it, I thought it was a little bit more nude, but I do like the color. But you'll see, whenever I go in with my shadow is warm, so hopefully this does not like look too in contrast. It's like I couldn't spit it out. For highlighter, I'm going to go in with an oldie but a goodie because there wasn't anything that I never have tried before and always wanted to try. So I'm taking Mary Luminizer from The Balm and my Bdellium, what number are you, 787, and we're going to pop this on the cheeks. Oh, I forget how like beautiful this highlight is. And then of course I'm buffing all over using my 01 Irisee powder from Sisley and my Luminous brush. Gonna go ahead and set everything using my Armani Prima Refreshing Makeup Fix. I feel like this concealer is just looking drier and drier by the minute. Not cute, YSL, not cute. The next purchase was the idea of a subscriber because they suggested that I try out some Dolce & Gabbana makeup. Just like a highlighter, if there is an eyeshadow palette I want to try, I'm just going to try it because I love eyeshadow. So there wasn't anything that I just been lusting over, so I grabbed these. These are both by Dolce & Gabbana, and the first one I've actually worn in one of my recent videos. I don't remember which one it was, but everybody was like asking for a tutorial, and it was like the lightest, almost nothing look, and it's this one right here. This is Tender. This one, very, very soft. It's pigmented, but very lightly, so it's not supposed to be like an in-your-face look. I wouldn't suggest this to anybody who is looking for something that is going to give you a lot of intensity or anything like that. This is very natural, very user-friendly, very smooth, but nice. This is in the shade Desert. And that's why I was worried about the blush being too pink, is because this one is so warm tone, but we're gonna make it work. I'm gonna zoom you guys in and we will get started. LH304, and I'm going to take this gray shade right here, and I'm going to start this in the crease. The shade has a slight sheen to it, but it's very light in color. So I can see it there, but it's not a whole lot going on, but it will help with blending everything else out. Helium 776 and this camel color shade. I'm going to start by tapping this on the outer corner, blending it toward the center, and then into the crease. I'm going to slowly kind of work this upward as I lose some of the pigmentation on the brush. Back in with that LH brush, no additional product, and just blend out the edges. See how easy that was to do? Same shade on a Helium 781, and I'm going to buff that underneath the lower lash line. Wayne Goss number 19 and the darkest shade in the palette. And I'm going to pop that right on the outer corner. Just kind of stamp it and then blend it up halfway in the crease just to get some dimension and, excuse me, depth to this outer corner. Back in with a 776 and just blending around the edges. You can see like this blends very easily, but you do lose some of the pigmentation. Same color and brush, and I'm going to put just a tiny bit of that on the outer corner of the lower lash line. MAC 283 in this light shade. I'm going to pop that at the brow arch and inner corner, and then I'm going to go put on my mascara. For my mascara, I wanted to try this one. I've got a deluxe version of this. This is the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir. It's like it did not want to come out of my mouth. But I have a lot of friends and people I've talked to that have said that this is their ride or die mascara. It is now on the floor, but whatever. I feel like I liked this a little bit better yesterday, and this kind of arises the same kind of question. I've heard that this dries out pretty quickly, and yesterday it was slightly clumpy, and today it's definitely more clumpy. I'm somebody who likes to go back and forth with my mascara and really work the product into the lashes, separate the lashes and everything else. This, I feel like you get volume right off the bat. I don't think my lashes look bad. I do like the mascara, but I'm slightly worried that if I were to buy a full size of that it would dry out really quickly and become too clumpy for me very quickly. I don't mind a clumpy mascara. I kind of like a little bit of that, but just not too much. So let me know if this does dry out for you guys. If it gets too clumpy too quickly, let me know what your thoughts are. Bottom lashes, I got MAC Extend to Play because that is my boo thing. Moving on to the lips, this product I've wanted to try but also have not wanted to try because It is pricey for the amount that you get, but the packaging on this is beautiful. It feels so luxurious in your hand. It has a nice weight to it. And this is the Hourglass Confessions Ultra Slim High Intensity Something Lipstick. I got the shade I'll Never Stop. I like that the name is right on the inside. These are refillable, so if I were to run out of this, I could definitely fill it up and be a lot cheaper than the package and the refill together. But I'm not the kind of girl that's going to buy a bunch of refills and then switch out the package. So they are expensive when you buy it together. Oh, let's put this guy on. Oh, again, the shade is I'll Never Stop. Now, doesn't that look so much better than my red irritated lips? This is the perfect nude for me. The formula on this is so nice. There's so much pigment in it. It glides on. It feels nice on the lips. The color I would say is like Bite Beauty Honeycomb, but a little less pink and a slightly more brown. But this is beautiful. I might have to give in and get more of these because this packaging feels so amazing. It's so sleek, and this formula is perfect. Overall, I pretty much loved everything. I will say I do like this palette a lot. It's like a more subtle skin-like version of warm tone looks I've done before. It's just very easy. They're very blendable, not too pigmented or anything like that, but I do feel like for the price, you could definitely get a very similar, if not exact look out of like the Tarte Toasted palette, but I do like the palette. I love the texture on this powder from Giorgio Armani. However, it's going to be a summer thing for me. I prefer the translucent with a little bit more radiance during the winter. This guy, absolutely not. I don't like mineral oil. Look up the effects of it. I'll insert a little picture. It can dehydrate your skin. It can clog your pores. If it's in a powder, like a powder blush, I will use it every once in a while, but it won't be like a daily thing just because it can irritate my skin. So I wouldn't suggest this one to anybody, no matter how beautiful it is, unless, you know, mineral oil just doesn't bother you. To each their own. The concealer is not something I'm going to reach for again, only because it's too dry for me. It's not terrible. It's not an Urban Decay all-nighter situation under these eyes, but it's not as nice as I know my eyes can look. So I won't be reaching for this. Let me know if you like it down below. And yeah, everything else I like. I really liked that bronzer. Ooh, that was good. But you guys, let me know what you think about this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.